So I'm going to go ahead and do some graphing examples here. So let's go ahead and do example number 2 of the graphing examples nodes. I'm going to click on that to open it up in Delta. Okay, so you can see that I have the same thing up on my screen over here. So I'm going to go ahead and slide this over to make it a little smaller for right now. Okay, so the first thing we always want to do is factor. So I'm first going to look for a GCF in the top, so I can take out negative 4x. So that's going to leave me with x minus 1. Remember, we're dividing it by negative 4x, so that's going to be how it simplifies out. And then in the bottom, I can take out a 5. So I'm going to get x squared minus 5x plus 4. And then because I have an x squared left in the bottom, I can go ahead and do my big X. So I want to multiply to 4 and add to negative 5. So that's going to be negative 4 and negative 1. So I'm going to go down here now and say, okay, f of x is really equal to negative 4x times x minus 1 all over 5 times x minus 1 times x minus 4, right, from our factoring. But oh, look, now we can cancel this out. So we're going to have a whole. So that means our final version of our function is going to be negative 4x over 5 times x minus 4. So then we need to find all 5 characteristics. So we need to find an x-intercept, a y-intercept. We need to find our vertical asymptotes, our horizontal asymptotes, and the whole. Okay. So I'm just going to box the f of x so that way it's a little easier to find. Okay, so let's do our x-intercepts. So for our x-intercepts, we're going to set the top equal to 0. So if I divide both sides by negative 4, that gives me x is 0. So I get 0, 0 for my intercept. For my y-intercept, I'm going to find f of 0. So I'm going to do negative 4 times 0 over 5 times 0 minus 4. It's going to be 0 over, that's 0 minus 4 is negative 4. It's going to be 5 times negative 4, so negative 20. But 0 over negative 20 is still 0. So I get 0, 0 here. Then remember, for our vertical asymptotes, you're going to set the bottom equal to 0. So I can set 5 equal to 0 and x minus 4 equal to 0. Now this has no solution, so that's going to give us no vertical asymptote. And then this is going to give us x is equal to 4. All right, for our horizontal asymptotes, right, we're going to look at the degree of the top and bottom. So let's see, it's purple, okay. So my top power, right, is equal to 1. I have x to the first, and my bottom power is also equal to 1. So remember, when they're equal to each other, you take that ratio of the coefficients. It's going to be y equals, I have a negative 4 in the top and a 5 in the bottom. So that's y equals negative 4/5, which to graph, it might be easier for decimals. So if we do negative 4 divided by 5, we get negative 0.8. And then for our whole, which I did not leave enough room for here. Let's see if I can get all of this in one go. There we go. Move that on up. All right, let's do the whole. So we crossed out x minus 1. So if I set x minus 1 equal to 0, I get x is 1. And then f of 1 is going to equal negative 4 times 1 over 5 times 1 minus 4. So that's going to be, if we zoom in real close here so I can have some more room. All right, we got negative 4 in the top, and then 1 minus 4 is negative 3. 5 times negative 3 is negative 15. So negative 4 over negative 15 is going to be positive 4 over 15. So my whole is going to be at x coordinate of 1, y coordinate of 4/15. Now that's the same thing as if I grab my handy dandy calculator, which actually, nope, of course that's not going to show up. There we go. If I do 4 divided by 15, we get 0.27. Switch back to Notability. So that is 1, 0.27. as our hole. So now I'm gonna make that smaller. We'll zoom in. Oh, I had all that room? Man, I was squishing for nothing. Make that even smaller. Okay, right, so we have to plot these things now. So I'm gonna plot my x-intercept, that's at 0, 0. So hit the x-intercept button, drag it to 0, 0. Hit the y-intercept button, that's also 0, 0. So drag it on top of the other. My vertical asymptote is x equaling 4. So I'm gonna drag that dashed line over to x of 4. Horizontal asymptote is at negative 0.8. So that's a little under negative 1. So we're gonna be about like there. And I have a hole. Now you can see my open dot up here at 1. There we go. It's at 1 and then 0.27, so pretty low there. And then once I have everything graphed, I'm going to hit plot rational function and hit submit.